This is an MSI MS-16k2 laptop. Once again, a fan replacement. Get quite a lot of these. I now have the fans in hand. I'm just going to do a quick video on this in case anybody is looking to replace the fans on this model MSI laptop. This computer also has a bulging battery, which we are going to address that with the customer, but he wants the fans replaced, and that's what we're going to do now. But I'm most likely going to be talking to him about replacing that battery too. Our GPU fan here is the one that's making all the noise, so that's the one, you know, we're going to replace both while we're doing this, but so we can just go ahead and get this thing started here. Okay, the first thing that we want to target is getting this battery disconnected from this motherboard, and that's certainly where we want to start off. We'll do that now. Okay, battery is disconnected. So that part is complete. Next thing we want to do is go around and disconnect all of the ribbon cables and such that are connected to this board, because we're going to have to remove the board to get to the fans. So we'll do that now. We'll remove the tape from here, and we will be replacing the tape with new tape. So we got to remember that we have these rubber pads that are important. Aside. And we'll go ahead and start removing these ribbon cables. That flips up, that flips up, and that flips up, this flips up. Okay. These ribbon cables to come out, and here's that one. Trying to see if I can also remove this battery. Yes, so we're going to go ahead and remove this battery. It's just kind of stuck down to the bottom there. Look at that bulging battery, man. Not good. And that was pushing down on the touchpad pretty bad. That's just going to help us get a little bit more of a visual here on things. Start pulling these ribbon cables out a little easier. Okay, I've also removed these two ribbon cables here. They'll go up. We got our usual little teeny tiny one over here. That's this guy right there. Flip him up. Pull that out. Video cable here. Flip that up. Pull that out. More tape. Gently pull this cable up. See what else we got. Okay, this ribbon cable here. Then we have our Wi-Fi card. We'll remove the tape. More and more and more tape. Take out the screw. So I think I'm going to have to remove this daughter card here. It's this one. You see the antenna cables, they run there and they go up underneath this, making it a little bit difficult for me to get to. So I'm going to go ahead and remove the daughter card. There's the cables there. And now we can kind of pull out our, there we go. Set that aside there, our Wi-Fi card there. Looks like we're down to maybe replacing or pulling the motherboard screws. So it looks like there's a few of them here. All right. There's another one. I'm going to go ahead and mark where I've been taking these screws out since there are no markings on the board. Another one here. There's one up here that I took out. There's one here. Okay, that looks like all the screws, but look at there. There's a really small ribbon cable, man, right there. Wow. So you got to make sure you get them all. Some really teeny ones. Take that out. Those would be fun to put back, won't they? There's that one. Okay, that does look like that's all of the screws. This board should, keep note again of these rubber pieces. They're there for a reason. Let's see if we can move this board any. Look at that. We also have the CMOS battery down here that is connected, but I think I'm just going to pull this up. Now I might be able just to flip this board back actually, possibly without having to do that. Okay, so it's got a little spudger here, and I just kind of twist it up there a little bit. I can move the board around, so that's a good thing, right? So I'm going to go ahead and continue to lift up there. Got another connector here that I'm seeing. Look at that. That's another little booby trap. There's a little connector right there that I see. I think that might be speakers. That is so teeny tiny. Let me try to pull this out and see if I can get a better look. Yeah, look at that. Right there. Right there, look at that. I pull on that a little bit. Boom. Wow. Well, look. It looks like I've got it loose. It's out. And I'm going to keep the CMOS battery plugged in. I'm just going to kind of flip it over. And that's going to kind of expose everything that I want to see in regards to these fans. Okay, so we got to this point. We're going to go ahead and there's 1, 2, 3, 4 little screws. We're going to take out on this GPU side fan here. Three. Okay, the fans are going to be popping out through the bottom here. Let's flip this over and take a look at this side. We got some tape. Looks like we have a 4th little fan here. Just kind of lift up a little bit on the end. I've got it flipped over here. See if we can just get it a little loose. Okay, let me flip it back over. To kind of keep working with it from both sides here. Ah, I got another screw, sorry. So that's 5 screws, I'm sorry. 1, 2, 3, 4. There are 5 screws here. I missed this one too. Okay, so I know that's going to come loose now. Yep. So I'm going to go ahead and disconnect these fans here. There's that one. Got a little bit of tape here on this other one. Okay, we got them unplugged. So let's flip it back over. See if we can work this out. You have to kind of work your way out. Let me see if I can. There it goes. Okay, that just popped out. We just slide that out like this. That wanted to go back into place by itself, didn't it? There we go. So there's that. Let's go ahead and pop the new one back in. You'll get the cables fed through there first, and this one here, just like that. Let's get that up there like this. Line up our little screw holes there. There we go. Now we're lined up. And let's go ahead and get our screws put back in. Okay, one down here. Put them a little loose, each one a little loose, so if I have to kind of stretch a little bit, I can have a little bit of play to move it around to make the screw holes line up, but this is looking good. So now our next step is to plug in our fans. Alright, that one's in. Yep, there we are. Put our little tape back. GPU side is done. Let's move on to the CPU side of things here. Okay, on this particular one, looks like there's 3 screws, it looks like. Okay, let's flip it over and look at the other side real quick. Yeah, we got some tape here we got to get off. Okay, that's pretty important. Now this tape is going to lose its stickiness once you take it off, so we've got to replace it with some good heat tape. Okay, so on this particular model, what I'm realizing is this has a long extension here, which is this, and a long extension over here, which is this, and you're not able to drop this and slide it without having to put a lot of tension on this actual heat sink here. We don't want to bend it, but you can see it all moves around, but it just doesn't slide out. And you don't really want to go to bending this heat sink a lot. So what I'm going to do here, I am going to loosen this heatsink just enough where I can just wiggle it. See there? And that was enough for me to just separate it just a touch, and that'd be enough for me to slide this fan out. Let me unplug it. Alright, and now we can slide the fan right out. There we go. Now we can tighten back up our heatsink screws. There we go. Looking good. And one here. Check to make sure the fan spins freely, and it does. And we do, yep, visible metal pin side down. Always critical to plug your fan back in. Okay, that's plugged in all the way. Now we need to be sure that we put our tape back, which will be right here. Okay, this is my high temp tape. Really good stuff. This comes in several different sizes, all in one box. Very nice. Hey, listen, I will have a link below this video for this tape and these fans. Please use my links to order your parts. It will help support my channel. I'd appreciate that. So let's see, which width was this tape? This tape was, well, it's about, let's use this. Put our tape back here on this fan because that was very important. Very, very important. It's there for a reason. Go ahead and cut it. It's not perfectly straight, but that's fine. It's not going to hurt a thing. As long as it covers that seam between the fan and the intake vent or the exhaust vent there, that's what the idea of that tape is. Okay, so at this point we now need to start putting this thing back together. Right, and I was able to keep the CMOS plugged in and in place, the CMOS battery there. So, you know, really the main thing we got to keep in mind here is just to make sure we, you know, keep all of our little ribbon cables exposed as we set this board into place. We need to kind of go in at an angle like this because of these ports here that slide into the side of the case. Let's not forget to plug in this speaker cable. Okay, I'm pushing this speaker cable in, so it's in there, no problem. And now we just got to keep these cables exposed all the way around. This one, there's one here. We don't need to be getting those lost under there, or we'll never get them out, right? This guy, hard drive cables, another one here. This one. This one. Okay. And you can even use a little bit of let me get my spudger. There we go. There's another guy up here we can't forget about. Remember this little guy up here. We got to be sure that is exposed. Yep. Just like that. Going to lift up on this side of the board a little bit. I think it is. Alright. So I've got that set in there pretty good. Be sure all my ribbon cables are still exposed. Here, here, here. Let's redo that one. I still got it up a little bit. I lost this guy. Let me pull him out. Come on. Come on. There we go. Okay, and see if I can just set him down. There we go. Reset right into place. Perfect, with all of our ribbon cables exposed just fine here. I think we could probably go ahead and put our screws, motherboard screws back in. Let's do that. Remember how I marked each one. Another one here. I remember that. At this point, let's go over here to the little daughter card. Put the little daughter card right back into place here. There we go. Flip this up. Let's go ahead and get this ribbon cable put back into place here. Now we can start putting all of these ribbon cables back on. Yeah. Got some more over here. Of course, then we have the very, very small one up here. Wow. It can get pretty small. Alright, that one's in. And then we have our video cable here that also acts like tape that goes down this seam. Get that plugged in. Okay, and I am going to run just a little tape. Actually, I'm going to run tape underneath it, down this seam right here. Just like that. And that can just rest right there, no problem. If you remember, there was tape like right there. This is the old piece. So there was tape going right across there. So that means these little rubber feet, the all-important rubber feet. One went there, and one went here. just like that. There you go. I believe it's time to test. There they go. Fans are kicking on and it is quiet. CPU fans going, GPU fans going. So look, the rest of the things you have to do here is to log in, of course, and to test all peripherals, your wireless, sound, everything else. Test it. Be sure it all works before you close this up. That's how you replace the fan on this model MSI laptop. Thanks for watching. Have a great YouTube day. Hey, if you enjoyed this video, why don't you head right down below here, hit that like button, subscribe to my channel. That would be really awesome. I have much more computer repair videos coming your way. There's also a bell you can click for to get notifications for my videos. I really appreciate everybody's support. And as usual, everyone, until next time, see you soon.